Hey everybody. So today's video is just what the title says. I am rewiring some lights that I bought from Lamps Plus online that came in. Long story short, some wiring in the house was messed up, and when we tried to turn the breaker back on to get these lit up, they blew. So I'm having to rewire them instead of buying new lights, because as we all know, lights are expensive and everything is expensive now. So I ordered the parts off of Amazon to rewire everything, and that's what I'm doing today. So here I am. I'm connecting the new wires to the old wires so that I can pull them through this skinny lamp fixture, because you don't want to try to rethread that on just with itself. So I'm taking off the cap, and here I am going to have to take out the old socket that blew. I ordered a set of these off of Amazon. They were not very expensive. I got 6 for like $8, and the wiring may have cost $20 for 25 feet of both the black and the white. I had to unscrew this skinny lamp to get all these wires back through there, and it was pretty tough. It was a beast. So here I am. I'm clipping the new wires off because I've already threaded through there. I didn't show it because it was an awful process. But I'm tying them in a knot here because I don't want them to accidentally slip back through that skinny part right there. I know my framing is awful, y'all. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, here are the sockets that I ordered. They're GU10 sockets for LED bulbs. My eyesight is so bad, y'all, I have to use a magnifying lamp to do detailed stuff like this. But I'm going to strip this wire of the new socket to connect it to the new wire that I've already threaded through the sconce. I'm twisting it, and then I'm going to fold it in half, and you'll see in just a minute these connectors that I'm having to use. You need to fold them in half because they're tiny, and the reason I'm having to use tiny ones is because I can't use regular wire nuts in the head of the socket because it's so tight down in there. So and look, I'm not an electrician. Again, I'm not an electrician. I ask advice from people. My husband was the one who told me to use these smaller connectors, which, you know, worked out great in the end. They're just clamp connectors. So it's got a metal sleeve down in the middle of that blue connector, and you stick your wires in each end and clamp it down, and you clamp it down hard enough to where it won't slip out. And so here I am clamping it, and I'm going to do a little tug to make sure it's not going to slip out on me. So you just repeat this process. I'm going to see it's stuck in there. It's not going anywhere. So on all of these new sockets that I got, I made a mark on all 4 of them so that I would know that I need to wire the ground wire on that side on all 4. These sockets did not come with a black and white, which doesn't make a difference, but you need to wire them all up the same, I'm assuming. I did just in case, but so that's the reason that I marked them all. And again, you're just repeating the process, stripping the wire, twisting it, bending it, sticking it in the connector, and clamping it down to make sure that it doesn't slip out. And so the problem with what happened with these sconces, it was totally my fault. I was the one who wired everything to begin with, and I had all the wiring correct. It wasn't that I messed up the wiring. My mistake was, this is all retrofitted. I was trying not to have to hire a professional because, you know, money. We're trying to DIY everything over here because, you know, things are expensive now. And I built all these built-ins myself to save $22,000. That was the quote that I was given to do these built-ins. And I haven't showed you the built-ins yet because I'm trying to get everything done to show that video. And that head of that lamp right there was loose, so I tightened it down. But anyway, with the wiring in the wall, I had everything done. I put my crown molding up on these bookcases and everything, and that's where I was hiding or burying the new wiring. And when I was putting the crown molding up, apparently I probably shot a nail through the wire, and so it made everything not work. It blew all the lamps. I had all these lamps up, wired up, everything was good to go. I turned the breaker back on and they popped. And so I knew something was wrong. And so I hired a friend of mine, a neighbor, who came and rewired everything for me and wound up putting everything in the attic, which turned out for the best. So here I am. I'm shoving all these wires. I should have shortened these wires on these sockets, but I just wanted to make sure that I had enough wire for everything, and everything was able to fit down in there. So I shoved it down in there, and I'm screwing them back on there. But yeah, I was happy that I was able to get my friend to come over and we rewire everything, because now it's all on one switch, whereas before I was going to have two separate switches. Yeah, don't look at me. That's the face of concentration, people. I'm trying to figure this thing out as I go. But I know how people are. I had to show my face doing it, because there'll be some yahoo in the comments talking about, you didn't do any of that. Your husband did it all. Yeah, okay. Well, here you go. There's proof. There's my pretty face doing all this work. Anyway, thank y'all for hanging out with me while I had to do this task. I can't wait to show them to you. They all work. They're up. I've enjoyed them for a few days, and I hope you come back to see what everything looks like in the end. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.